My name is Thuli Tabudi, but I was born Kumalo. I was born in Johannesburg, and I won't tell you how many years ago because that would be giving away my age. And I work for the SPAR Group as the HR executive.
So we welcome you today and hope you're well. How have you been coping during this lockdown?
Hi, thank you very much for the opportunity. It's been a challenge for us in our distribution centers, especially being human resources, because that's the part where your role really gets tested because you are dealing with people. And of course, then our retailers, who as the SPAR stores, together with other companies that are in the same business, are responsible for keeping the nation fed during this time. And it's quite a responsibility. And of course, the biggest challenge being that our stores are actually getting affected. But hey, SPAR people, we are resilient, we are soldiering on, and we're doing the best that we can.
We admire all the good that SPAR's been doing and impacting the lives of people, and that is so phenomenal. So well done. I know you guys are sacrificing a lot to make a difference, but it has, and we've seen the impact it has made. So
thank you.
So tell us a bit about yourself. So who you are, where you from, what's your favorite thing to do in your spare time?
I love hiking. I love baking. I love gardening. I love all sorts of things. The time that I've got, as long as I'm in my garden, I just get lost in the garden. And just the beauty of nature, admiring the flowers and seeing which new ones have come out and so on. So that actually keeps one occupied and kind of like relaxed. But then fortunately, because we are working as SPAR, it also means that there's so much that's keeping you busy. So the idle time that I'm talking about is really on Saturdays and Sundays, because Monday to Friday, it's work as normal.
So what high school did you go to, and what did you pursue after you've finished school?
So I finished matric in 1985, but when I finished matric, I was actually already pregnant. So even though I had great matric results, I could not actually study further. So the reality of it is that I had to sit and watch my friends continue with their tertiary studies whilst I actually sat at home, and it felt like I was stuck. It really felt like at age 18, my life had actually come to a standstill. So I had an assistant position for a general dealer in Soweto in one of the townships, and this was like 7 days a week. You only got like 2 days off, which is when you could actually be at home. So the job itself, it wasn't much of a job, but so as I was working at this general dealer, I must say that personally, I was at the lowest point in my life. Looking at my son was actually the one thing that made my heart very sore, because I was realizing that his plight is in my hands. If I don't find a way to actually reclaim my life and get some direction, he was actually destined to be a statistic like myself. So I'd already entered myself into a statistic that Black girls fall pregnant and they just become nothing. So if I were to change the course of my son's life, it needed to start with me. Deserve that. Then something happened one day which changed the course of my life. So one afternoon then, in comes this boy, possibly our age, maybe 18, 19, somewhere there. So he was explaining, whilst we were actually there, that these were the girls that couldn't become anything in life. They probably dropped out of school. As you can see, they are just working here. There is no future for them. They will work here probably until the day they retire. And you can see they are losers. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that can become of them. They will just be smelling of fat books for the rest of their lives, and that's it. So I got home that evening and I had a meeting with my parents. So I asked my dad if he could give me a loan to go and do a one-year secretarial diploma. Because in my mind, I reasoned that when I had a baby, I actually lost all the rights of asking to go to university to do this degree or this honors, whatever. So whatever I was going to get needed to be a practical course that was going to be short, that would allow me to get into an entry-level position. And that one-year course was exactly that. The interesting part was that after graduating, we battled to find a job. Now you'd think that you've aced your secretarial diploma, it shouldn't be a difficult situation for you to find a job. But here I was battling to find a job. So this is during the height of apartheid. So even though you apply for a position, you are not fitting the criteria of what a PA is supposed to look like. Even so, I battled to find a job. And interestingly, in those days, the kind of jobs that you could find were mainly with your NGOs. As things had it, I applied for a position at an NGO. How do I compete with these seasoned secretaries? So anyway, I went through the motions of the interview and then went home afterwards, not really expecting much. And guess what? 2 days later, I got a phone call from the director of the NGO offering me a job. I almost fell off my chair, like, whoa, what is going on? So anyway, he asked me to report for duty, I think the following day. And then I went to my boss. His name was Sam. I said, Sam, why did you give me the job? And he said to me, why are you asking me this? I said, listen, I can clearly see that I am the least qualified of all these individuals. I mean, one of them was an ex-teacher who had gotten tired of teaching and did a secretarial course. And you took me instead. Why? And he said to me, I'm glad that you actually see the fact that you were not qualified to get this job, that in fact I shouldn't have given you this job. But the only reason why I gave you this job was because you've got something that they don't have, and that's potential. And that is what I'm seeing. So take this as an opportunity to recreate your life, because you don't belong where you are. And I said to him, Sam, you actually don't have to worry about that, because let me tell you, that has been my plan. So you and I are actually in sync. Part of my plan was I needed to do a secretarial course, really just to give me a boost. From there, I was going to use it as a launching pad to a career, because I really don't want to be typing and filing for the rest of my life. So we were in sync. Sam gave me something that at that point in time, I didn't even know it had a name. He gave me a mentorship and coaching. He gave me something that I didn't have. He gave me the confidence that I no longer had in myself. I enrolled at UNISA. I completed my bachelor's degree. I then did my honors also at UNISA. Then I thought, why stop? Then I did a master's in industrial psychology. So for me, education became that way of reclaiming my power and prove to myself that I can be something, so that my son can also be proud one day to say, that is my mom. And that was very important to me.
Sure. I'm actually just getting like goosebumps. I can sit whole day and just listen to your story, because it's so inspiring. And I know that there might be someone out there that's facing a similar situation.
I think if there is a message to a young person, otherwise I wouldn't be telling my story if I wasn't hoping that someone will actually learn from my story, because your education is the future. So learn from my mistakes. So if you are a young person, focus on your education. Everything else can wait. The reality of it is that wherever you find yourself in life, from primary school right until the end of your life, you will always be competing. You're competing to be the best in class, you're competing to be the best in your degree, your faculty, because when it comes to looking for jobs, even as employers, we want that top of the class kind of a caliber. So your job is to give it your all. So your parents have given you the opportunity. Make no mistake, studying part-time was not fun because it meant a lot of self-discipline and so on. So when you still have an opportunity to go to varsity and study, use that opportunity to the best of your ability. Anything that you set your mind on is doable. You can actually do it. One person, your job is to do your research. Your job is to make sure that you don't stay idle. You go out there, you become a go-getter. I mean, as young as 18 or 19, you can actually be a go-getter. Knock at all those doors. Surround yourself with people that can impact your life positively. Yes, your talent might not be to be like a friend who's studying to become, I don't know, a doctor or an actuary or a chartered accountant. But boy, maybe you're the best artisan that our country has been waiting for. Yeah. Maybe you're the best electrician, you're the best plumber, maybe you're the best secretary, you're the best baker, butcher, and so on.
Sure. Thank you so much. I mean, I've been inspired, I've been motivated, I've been so encouraged. And thank you so much for taking the time to share your story. We really appreciate it on behalf of FutureMe, and we know that the youth of South Africa will be inspired. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks to you guys.